It is time for our first stop and jot. You will want to have your handout available to jot down a few key ideas. Let's talk comprehension. We started our study of this topic by first defining comprehension in general, and we determined that comprehension is the process of making sense of language, whether it be oral or written language we hear or language we read. We then differentiated reading comprehension as the process of making sense of only written language and defined it as the ability to read text, process and analyze it, and make sense of what was read. Once defined, we moved our discussion to the goals of comprehension. Comprehension goes beyond simply understanding the words on a page. The ultimate goal is to help students use what they read in meaningful ways. In other words, comprehension is about teaching children to absorb new information, make it part of their understanding, and use it strategically. Imagine a student reading about a science concept like plant growth. It is not enough for them to just know the vocabulary words or be able to identify the parts of the plant. They need to understand how these ideas fit into a larger context and how they might apply this knowledge in a real-world situation, like growing a classroom plant or explaining the process to a friend. This goal of comprehension moves students from passive readers to active thinkers and learners, empowering them to take action based on what they have learned from the reading. Comprehension is, therefore, not just a skill, but a tool for thinking and learning across every subject. We then began an exploration of the connection between comprehension and the science of reading, and determined that reading comprehension is a major focus within the science of reading, a field that combines insights from psychology, linguistics, education, and cognitive science. We revisited several reading theories that we learned about in Module 2, the simple view of reading, Scarborough's reading rope, the four-part processing system, and Kinch's construction integration model, and discovered that this research views comprehension as the ultimate purpose of skilled reading. In other words, every element of reading instruction, from phonics to fluency, is aimed at helping students understand texts. The science of reading emphasizes that skilled readers are both strategic and purposeful. They know how to decode and also how to think critically about what they are reading. For teachers, this means that reading comprehension is not a separate piece of reading, but rather the destination we're aiming for in every reading lesson. By drawing on the science of reading, teachers can use proven instructional methods that support students in becoming not only accurate readers, but also thoughtful and engaged ones. The last big idea we discussed covered the three main layers of reading comprehension: literal comprehension, inferential comprehension, and evaluative comprehension. These components reflect a developmental progression, especially in young learners. Literal comprehension is the surface level, where students understand the basic facts of the text: who did what, where, and when. Next is inferential comprehension, which involves reading between the lines. At this stage, students dig deeper to draw conclusions, make predictions, and connect ideas that are not directly stated in the text. Finally, there's evaluative comprehension, the core, which challenges students to analyze, judge, and critique what they have read, going beyond what is explicitly stated in the text. This might involve comparing the text to other works, forming opinions about the character's actions, or considering the text's relevance to real-world issues. Think of these components as layers. Literal comprehension is the surface, inferential comprehension digs a bit deeper, and evaluative comprehension reaches the core. Each layer builds on the previous one, and all three are essential for developing a complete understanding of a text. So, in summary, we have discussed three big ideas in this module so far. The goal of comprehension is to teach children how they can take the information they gain, integrate it into their minds, use it strategically, and take action. The science of reading research is multidisciplinary and views comprehension as a major outcome of skilled and strategic readers. And the research helps inform us of best practices for getting students to that level. Reading comprehension occurs at various levels: literal, inferential, and evaluative comprehension. and these layers follow a developmental trajectory across the first years of school. Let's keep these key concepts in mind as we move forward and continue building our understanding of the role of knowledge in reading comprehension.